Dr. Todd Craig, peace, King.
All right. Capital H, AVOC, H class diamonds, HSBC. What up?
You already know what it is, man. How's your weekend been so far?
Hey, yo, everything is cool. Everything is cool. Everything is busy. School's underway. I got a few events coming up that I'm preparing for right now. I got to give a keynote, do a workshop at a conference. So, just working, working,
Trying
working, working.
That's what it's all about, man. You know what I mean?
What's good with you?
Man, I was editing the video that me and Meth did
Uh-oh.
today. Yeah, I was editing that. You know what I mean? It's coming out pretty dope. You know what I mean? It's
Okay.
coming out pretty good. Can't wait to show the people the product. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
No, you said can't wait for people to show people a product because I know y'all been working on this album for a minute.
Hell yeah, we were working on this shit for a minute. But you gotta understand, you know what I'm saying? Meth busy, man. He like the super actor. You know what I'm saying? Like the super actor, he on power and all that. So his schedule is crazy, hectic. So it's a little bit of a, walking that line of, trying to get things done. Because the album been finished, but sometimes the longer you take, you feel like doing more music, you know what I mean? Because it just starts sounding dated to you, but to people that never heard it, it's almost as good as
it's like I did it yesterday.
Right, like things like that nature. But I'm excited about the project, to be honest with you.
Now let's do this real quick. Can we talk a little bit about, because I'm sure people would love a glimpse behind that velvet rope of what, like, whenever we as fans of the music see the videos, we just see what the images are. You want to talk a little bit about what it means just even getting to that point? Because I know there's a lot that goes into the process even before you get to the day of the video shoot where you in front of the cameras.
Yeah, true indeed. Like, so, before you even get in front of the cameras, you got your storyboard, your video treatment of what you want to do in the video. So by the time you're shooting the video, you actually know what you're going to be filming. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature, right? And then some of it, at least 50% of it is off the cuff. Like, while you shooting, you're like, oh, let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's film over here. This little area looks nice or whatever. And, you add, scenes in there. And hopefully by the time you get to editing, the shit looks, dope. You know what I mean? Because you get to see it in real time with the little to the side camera that they have while you're shooting the video. I'm always kind of like critical of myself, like looking to see if I look good. If they got the right angles. Because in my mind, I'll be wanting to tell the video director, like, yo, only film me from this angle, right? You know what I'm saying? But when the actual video is being shot, I thug it out. I'll be like, man, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even put makeup on and all of that. You know what I'm saying? I wipe my own face off. You know what I mean? Okay. Just make sure I'm not shining too much, or whatever it is, and just go with the flow. So there's a little bit of work that goes into filming the video, but I think a lot of the work goes into post-production.
A lot. I was just about to ask you, is it more time in that editing room than it is actually shooting the footage?
I mean, back in the days when we was doing all of the videos, I just listen. A person like me, when you making music, I'm constantly making beats. I'm constantly making rhymes. When it comes to the video, I'm like, yo, here, you have it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I already cooked up. You know what I mean? I've been cooking. I've been cooking for hours, days, weeks, months. You know what I mean? By the time it comes to the video, I'm tired of cooking. I'm like, yo, just show me what you got. You know what I mean? Right. So we'll shoot the video. They'll ask me, like, every now and then I'll come up with some kind of theme for video, but I really kind of leave that to the directors, like from one artist to another, to see how creative they could be with the video treatment. But every once in a while, I'll be like, yo, I want the video like this. And so with the Met video, I'm not gonna let the cat out the bag about or like the kind of thing that I wanted with it, but so the audience can see it when they do. I kind of gave a little bit of a direction on this one, and post production is like. So back then, what I was trying to say was back then I never really got involved with post production because I trusted the video directors enough and the editors enough to be like, go ahead, y'all do it. Plus, we paying these motherfuckers $1 million. So you know what I'm saying? If I'm paying you $1 million to do a video, motherfucker, you better please, you better make this video fly, baby. You heard? But yeah. So a lot goes into post production. So these days, it's not the big fancy video shoots and all of that. It's because technology has allowed us to have a camera or two, some good lighting and things of that nature. And now the $1 million video cost X amount of dollars, way far from what it used to cost. You know what I mean? But with this still the same quality, of course. Right. So yeah, a lot goes into that. And I have a fun time being involved with that for sure.
Okay.
And yeah, that aspect.
Yeah, I even know a couple people who have shot videos on their iPhones. Like we walking around now with phones that'll do the work of what used to be the multi-million dollars, what they used to, what the Hype Williams treatment. If you got that Hype Williams video, you knew your budget looked a certain way.
Yeah, I absolutely. Somebody asked me in the chat, are there any sound textures or equipment that inspired you to create? Yeah. What are some of the virtual instruments, vintage gear, or sample libraries that motivated you to create? Oh, shit. Everybody know I used to fuck with the MPC. You know what I mean? Now I mess with the Mashing Studio made by Native Instruments. You know what I mean? Sample libraries. I'd be a liar if I say, yo, I use this sample library, that sample library. I use it all. I use everything, There's a lot of sound libraries out there. I'm not going to let you know my secrets because then everybody will just start running to where I get my samples. And then some of the samples I can't get anyway because I go overseas and I be digging in those crates. You know what I mean? So I be doing that shit. Yeah, right. So that's the DL. Yeah, to answer your question.
Yeah, I saw DL in the chat. Shouts to DL. And they give it up 100s like DL, they celebs, they don't respond to the chat.
Somebody said that.
Somebody said that.
Well, guess what? Surprise, fuckers. We just responded to somebody's chat.
And listen to everybody out there. We definitely gonna do. I think we did one show like this already, but we definitely gonna do another episode where we just devote the whole episode to questions and comments in the chat. So,
yeah, for sure.
So be on the lookout. But no celeb status. Like we just here kicking it with y'all. Like that's what makes this, I think, the most meaningful. That's the most meaningful part of it, I think, for me and probably for you too, right? Just being able to have these conversations and engage with people that's listening and took the time out to tune in.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? And letting them hear my opinion on things. I'm one of those characters that I don't talk much, you know what I mean? I let my actions do the talking, but now I'm here just letting people know my thoughts, this and the third. Somebody said when I'm putting some Havoc merch out. That's coming real soon. Stuck off the Realness merch. That'll be definitely coming soon. Somebody said Prodigy. Yes, it's always Prodigy forever for sure.
Right.
Yeah, we had a interesting podcast last week, and I was listen, I just want to tell people I'm for my people. You feel me? So when I see people attacking my people, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to talk about it. You know what I mean? Good, bad, ugly. You know what I'm saying? I know me. I'm, you know what I'm saying, black as a kid, but I'm not. What we was talking about earlier, you were saying you was touching on.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's important to share with everybody, like, we're both two black men. So the goal of some of these conversations, as difficult as they may be sometimes, it's not to bash black men in particular, or bash black people in general. I think what we do have to do is we have to have conversations about what is going on in this current time, and try to have objective conversations about it, and look at it from all angles. The thing I appreciated most last week, have, is when you came out off the rip and was like, listen, no matter what, the judicial system in this country functions on innocent until proven guilty. Everybody
All right.
they day in court,
All day.
and so I think we always need to be mindful of that. At the same time, we can always talk about the things that we see, the things that we're seeing and hearing and reading, the reporting around it, and then try and make sense of it as best as possible. But the idea of not being able to have these conversations, I think part of the difficulty is when we don't have these conversations, a lot of people are left in the dark, and then you don't know how to make sense of all the information that's coming at you. So I think we're just trying to do the best that we can to just have a honest and open dialogue about what we're seeing.
Absolutely, man. You know what I'm saying? The things that's going on right now in this world is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like, if it's not this, it's that. It's like it just never stops. It's like non-stop distractions. And like I was trying to touch on last week, like what's really going on? You know what I mean? Like, cause you know me, I'm thinking like, if they putting this in front of our face, what is the other hand doing? You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel all day. So, you know, I think the powers that be is trying to distract us, you know what I'm saying, from what's going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many other things that could be front news or you know what I'm saying, like breaking news. It's like they just always want to, you know, indict this person or call this person out for his lifestyle and things of that nature, you know what I mean? And I'm like, there's a trillion things in the hood that deserve headlines. You understand? It's like, you know, the jobs, you know what I'm saying, the homelessness, you know, the senseless shootings, you know, and I believe that, you know, the shootings is a direct result of, you know what I'm saying, the kids not really having nothing to do.
Oh, so
you know what I mean?
So one of the things, I have this conversation in my classes with my students all the time, and especially when it comes to hip hop, but also when it comes to just you know, the contemporary sort of cultural and social climate of what we see in our hoods on a daily basis, right? We can do the very simplistic look at hip hop, right? It's guns, drugs, murder, misogyny, promiscuous sex. The things I say to students is, yo, if everybody had a chopper in their car, we'd all be dead. If everybody was having as much sex as they say we haven't, we will all have AIDS. If everybody sold as much drugs as they claim they selling, everyone would be smoking crack. So we gotta understand that part of the music is entertainment, but the thing I really want my students to think about is, so we could take that route. That's the easy route. Like, look at the lyrics. Oh, they said this. Oh, okay, they must be doing this. The thing I say is, when do we get to talk about the fact that there are a group of individuals in our society that see this on a daily basis? This is what they tell us that we see, but there is no government systematic structure that's put in place to begin to dismantle the things that we're seeing. So
absolutely not. Yeah, God.
In the hood, when there's more liquor stores than there are Whole Foods, like when are we gonna have a conversation about what the food deserts look like in our communities? When are we gonna have conversations in terms of like how you said, like you think part of this is a product of kids not having anything to do? Like we had after school programs.
Yep.
We had, you know, shout out to CYO and St. Rita's basketball. Like
straight up.
we had basketball that night. We had things to do so that our minds could stay busy and we could stay busy and we weren't just caught up in what was happening on our blocks and in some of these streets. So I think that there comes a point where we have to be able to kind of shift away from that simplistic look and really start to look at when people in these communities are telling you that something's happening, when do you do something to change those things that are happening? Unless it's advantageous for certain people to have certain communities look a certain way.
True indeed. Let's call a spade a spade. And my mom, maybe they don't want nothing to change. And therefore, you know what I'm saying? They get to say, hey, we'll change this for you. We'll change that for you. You said that 4 years ago. You said that 2 years ago. But everything's still the same. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, where's the switch up gonna come? Where's the switch up? It's crazy. I could get on here and talk forever about that. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, you know, tell me something changed. You know what I'm saying, in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Since the last time I was younger and I was there, because it seemed like the same thing is happening and the same thing is worse. Now, you know what I'm saying? I love my peoples and I want to see them thrive and get better. Right. And I want them to be safe. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, because there's more to the hood than just that. You know what I'm saying? Right. There's bright and shining moments in the hood that, like, I bet you we could pick a hood, any hood. We'll find a Jordan there. We'll find a Nas there. You know what I'm saying? We'll find you know, all these different kind of careers that are bubbling there, like future, you know, lawyers, doctors, whatever you want to say, they are there. But the only thing that gets the attention is that. So they like, oh, you know what I'm saying? When they campaigning, when people campaigning, they should just be like, yo, you know what? We about to put mad after school programs here. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. Like that's the stuff I want to hear. Not these headlines of like the mayor has been indicted. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, whatever it is that happened, that's the headline now. Like, we can't, you know, that's very important to y'all. Like, y'all gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so I'm talking about it, right? Because, you know, like we gotta call attention to this. Like, you know, 1 week is they lock it this guy up, they lock this guy up, and then, you know what I'm saying, and we supposed to be, everybody supposed to be voting, you know what I'm saying, in a few weeks, you know, it's like this, it could make somebody's head spin.
Yeah, and here's the thing about it too is, again, I think, you know, when it comes to the mayor, you know, hopefully he has his day in court. From what I've seen from his statement, he's saying that all of this is lies and he's innocent. So, you know, listen, innocent until proven guilty. You get your opportunity in your day in court to be able to present your side of whatever the situation looks like. What the flip side of it is, and we have to kind of think about it, like there's that saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. And so the way it looks in terms of people resigning from his cabinet, you know, it feels like a mass exodus. And the different, there's like, besides his indictment, there's like 3 other investigations that are around him by people in his cabinet. You know, there's conversations about, you know, this person is married to this person, and then this person with the brother. Like, there's this connectivity amongst people. The thing that I just think is kind of interesting is other people that don't look like us, like it's kind of, they've been doing this for a long time. It's almost like the American way. You get in power, you put your people on, like, so
Right.
it's this real interesting moment of just trying to make sense of what's happening. And is this an issue of is this an issue of, I don't know if it's necessarily just about race. I don't want to say that, because I think there's a lot more at play. I'm not going to say that it's not about race, but I think there's a part of it that is that, but I also think, like, at what point do we start looking at all of these situations equally?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? We know that we've seen, you know, it almost feels like, to a certain extent, and I'm not saying this for the Eric Adams piece, I'm saying this in general, like, sometimes you be watching Power and you feel like they got that episode straight out of real life, because they took this congressional person and just kind of flipped who it was, but here's the story.
Right.
So there's definitely, like, we do have to kind of try to decipher whether or not, look, if Eric Adams did what they saying he did, right, and if he is taking bribes and he's taking bribes from overseas, like, yo, that's a thing, and we need to be mindful of that. But if he didn't, we also need to be mindful about, what does it mean that that the feds and they were aggressive with it, and he's the mayor,
right?
Like, they was running up on him on the streets. Yo, give me your phones, all devices, run them.
Crazy.
Then they had the police commissioner resign. The new commissioner came on. Yo, they raided the new commissioner's crib, like, immediately. So
quick. That was quick.
Yeah. Yo, so I mean, to a certain extent, like, yo, if any of us was in the cabinet and we saw people's houses getting raided, it's almost like, yo, dude, y'all might have to resign and find a new job too.
Yeah. I ain't let it run up in my crib.
Right. But then the thing about this that's interesting to me is that there is this history of kind of, and we've seen it in Black communities, like we're seeing it with Eric Adams now. But we've seen the feds operate with other Black folks in interesting ways, right? So I remember
how's that?
So remember when they ran up in DJ Drama's crib over the mixtape?
Yeah. How long ago was that?
That's a good question. That was a while ago. Let me do
20 years. 20 years ago.
I don't know if it was wasn't 20 years. He was rated. Hold up. And I'm looking at it right now. I'm trying to skim through this article real quick. It was in the
2007.
That sounds about right.
No, wait. DJ Drama reveals wild story of being raided by the feds. Okay, yeah. So 2007, and I remember that. Remember that shit, yo.
2007.
And those was RICO charges. You see what I'm saying?
So now let's just let that sink in. The fact that
those were RICO charges.
Mixtapes. Not pounds of cocaine, marijuana, which wasn't decriminalized at the time, not opioids, not, AR-15s and rifles.
No, none of that.
Mixtapes, which for some people So we put it in perspective, like, yo, those mixtapes were on a CD. So he basically was he had CDs of music.
Right.
And
you get a RICO charge for that, right? And mixtapes became a staple in hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, we all used mixtapes. It's not like we was trying to rob the artist, but it was a, you know what I'm saying? It was a hood thing. It's like, you know, put together a mixtape because we could, and that shit probably made you go out and buy the artist album anyway.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't like it was whole albums on these CDs. I mean, people probably were doing it, but you know, the DJs like DJ Drama, they was doing us a service.
Right.
They actually was helping these record companies out. You understand what I'm saying? And he gets hit with this RICO charge. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, it's crazy. I'm looking at it right here. I didn't even know that, you know what I'm saying, it was a RICO charge, to be honest. But RICO sounds very familiar to me lately.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a RICO charge. I knew that the feds ran up on them, but like when we start to process the fact that Drama is able to probably change he was probably able to change the course of his life through hip hop, through music, as a DJ, through making mixtapes, and then they hit him with a RICO charge.
Right.
I mean,
hit him with a RICO charge. And think about it, right? Today's mixtape is now what?
Oh, the curated Spotify playlist, the curated Apple Music, Pandora playlist.
You see what I'm saying? The Apple playlist, or iTunes, whatever they call it now. That's crazy. But before that, you know what I'm saying, our people had to go through the fire and get RICO charges. You know what I'm saying? They fought for you, yo.
Yo, criminal organizations have been hit with the RICO charge. Like, so now
niggas got hit with RICOs for you, son. You know, for this playlist to exist. How dare you disrespect that man name? You know what I mean? Yo, shouts out to DJ Drama.
Shouts out to Drama. Shouts out to Don Cannon, the affiliates. Yo, they really. I mean, yo, what Drama was doing with that Gangsta Grills was, I think, have you absolutely right. Like, you knew that if an artist had a Gangsta Grills, you knew they was official. And when the album came out, you was going to get it. Yo, Gangsta Grills was better than a promo tour run. It was better than just having a street team. Like, Gangsta Grills did all of that and won.
Nah, they did more than win. You know, I mean, at that point, even though DJ Drama didn't, invent the mixtape or nothing like that, but he took it to like its highest level.
Yeah.
You know, so much so, I'm sure he started running his own record company and produced for major artists. And, you know, so just thinking about the whole thing, like, you know, RICO charges for mixtapes, and I'm not sure if they hit the mayor with RICO charges. What was those RICO charges that they hit with?
I think the mayor's charges are bribery,
corruption,
corruption, soliciting campaign funds from like an outside agency. Really mostly corruption charges. It's funny because when you look at the way that the news is reporting on all of the people who either are being investigated or have charges or have resigned from his cabinet, the visual images, it feels like it's that, like, it feels like it's a RICO chart. It feels like, you know how on all of them TV shows and the movies, when they start to break down the criminal organization and they got like the whole family tree, the visuals of how they're talking about the administration look very similar to that. So that part of it, I think, is crazy. But yeah, it's really like his charges are more like political corruption and bribery charges from what it looks like.
And from what it looked like to me, he like one of the first hip hop mayors. I mean, I know Detroit had one, and that's a whole nother story. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know, man, Eric Adams is mad cool. You know what I'm saying. I met him a few times. You know what I'm saying. He cool. You know, I don't know. You know,
I,
it's
so I will say this. I think I remember when he was first elected mayor and he first got in the Gracie Mansion. I feel like Eric Adams went to more shows and more hip hop parties in that first year of being mayor.
I will say one thing though. I will say
have.
one thing. I will say one thing. Hold on, before you go there. I fuck with him and all that, but he need to clean up the rats. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of rats in the city. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
Mr. Adams.
Yeah, y'all, and so here's the part of it. Like, people start asking questions like, when you at every hip hop show and every festival in New York and every concert, but the rats are running around, it looks like the mayor's not mayoring. So there is that part. But yo, I met Eric Adams a few times. I've seen him,
cool dude, right?
Seen him a couple times give commencement talks, talk to students on graduation day. You know, has an interesting story. Black dude from the hood, was once a police officer. You know, so to kind of grow up where he grew up, come from being a police officer, I think he went from that to Brooklyn Borough president, if I'm not mistaken, and then from Brooklyn Borough president to the mayor's office.
I mean, you know, he definitely got an interesting story. You know what I mean? You know, without even without all of this stuff that transpired today and the things that they was, you know, fucking with and with, you know, taking all his phones and all of that, you know, months back. When he first got in, I said, "Oh man, this nigga in trouble." I said, "Yeah, they about to," you know what I'm saying? Because we ain't have a mayor since Dinkins. You know what I'm saying? The black, you know, they cut his shit real short, and you know, Dinkins was like an angel compared to everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? This man was, you know what I'm saying? Soft spoken, cool. Dinkins, they got him right up out of there. Who they get? Who they bring in after that? Was it Giuliani?
Giuliani might have came after.
He had to come right after him.
Yeah. So
they disbarred your man just now too. They did, by the way, FYI, they disbarred Giuliani. I heard. Okay. Yeah, I'm not no surprises there.
Yeah, and you know, for people who are in different areas and might not understand, we come from the era of we were growing up during that stop and frisk moment that Giuliani put in place. So when Nas is in the rhymes talking about Giuliani, like, that comes from young black men in urban inner city environments, in the hood, in the projects, really having a tough time with police just really being extra about it. I can't tell you how many times police done threw me up against the wall or stopped me or frisked me, and during those times I was either in college and in grad school. I remember one time Gotti was like, really, like, yo, that's our man. He goes to Harvard. He not doing nothing crazy. Like, y'all, like y'all, him, like, he's the one you gonna stop.
I mean, yeah, right. I mean, and you was in Harvard and came from Harvard and all of that. Like, I had a crazy story with them. Like, so that's why I'll be like, they be like, yo, can we search you? I'll be wanting to be like, nah, kid, like, I'm good. Like, I don't want you to search me. Because I remember when me and P was teenagers, we was coming from my father's crib, and I forgot where we was going, but we walking, and I forgot something at my pop's crib. So I was like, yo, oh shit, let's go back. I forgot such and such. So we turned around to walk to go back to my pop's crib to go get something. But little did I know, there was police in front of me when we was walking, and I had turned around. So the police thought that I saw them, and I turned around. So these niggas caught up to me. I didn't even know that they was trying to catch up to me. So they caught up to me and was like, hey, get on the wall. So I'm like, I'm a teenager. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even selling drugs, no nothing. I'm like, what's up? Like, you know, I think I'm good. I'm straight. Get against the wall. Da, 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 da. What you was doing? I was like, what you talking about? I'm just going to my house. They're like, nah, you saw us and you turned around. I'm like, I didn't even see y'all. Like, I mean, I literally did not even see them. I swear I didn't see them. So I was like, huh? They was like, turn the fuck around. So now they searching me. I was like, I don't got nothing on me or whatever. You know, just being a smart ass teenager, like, I don't got shit, whatever. They said, oh yeah, what's this?
Yeah.
Son, I turned around. I said, that's not buzz. They was like, yeah, right. That's what they all say. I said, oh shit. Yo, I was bugging out. I'm like, these motherfuckers actually put something in my pockets. In my pockets. I was like, good thing my sister was coming around at the time. My stepsister, she had been walking by. She's like, what you doing to my brother? What you doing to my brother? And it kind of like threw the police off. Right. So they was like, man, they was like, give us your name. And wrote it down. And was like, all right, get the fuck out of here. I was like, yo, son. Yeah. So you got to understand why a lot of people would be sugar the police. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas they could be, I respect the police. I'm just going to, off the bat, I'm just going to say that. There's more good cops than bad cops. You understand what I'm saying? I believe that. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's just that sometimes you have interactions with, they're human beings. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
Right.
You know, and some of them, you don't know their agenda. But that's the dealings that some of us have with the police now. Is that a reason to be like, you know, fuck the police or defund the police? Like, I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see a neighborhood defunded of police. You know, that means that, you know, okay, then let us all have guns then, if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, because so we can protect ourselves. Then okay, then fuck it. You know what I mean?
So I say this all day. Like, I respect the police, and I'm a civilian. Like, if something goes down, I'm calling 911. I want y'all to come here. I pay taxes. I work legally. I want you to protect and serve me and mine when we are in danger or in jeopardy, right? I'm also grown up knowing that one bad cop can dismantle what 10 or 15 or 20 good cops are trying to do. And that's cool, usually, that's usually how it is. But when we have these conversations about the police, I think especially, you know, people from our era, when we came up in that Giuliani stop and frisk, there were no body cameras, there were no cell phones and cameras, like you wasn't able to record on the spot like how you are now to diffuse situations. So that's why sometimes with some of these situations, it's just it feels real extreme. I mean, DJ Drama is one example. The other example that is the recent one is BG comes home from jail. I think he did 10 or 11 years. And what the Fed said to him is that he has to, as part of, I don't know if he's on parole or probation. I forget what it is that he's on, but it's in that window of time where he's not locked up, but he's not, you know, considered a completely free, you know, citizen, right? He's got to submit his song lyrics to the feds if he's performing music or if he's making new music.
Say it ain't so.
He's got to submit the lyrics, and their argument is that the lyrics from his other music are counterintuitive to the philosophies and tenets of rehabilitation. So he's got to submit the lyrics to be able to either make a new song or either perform one.
So wait, he's on parole?
I don't know if it's parole or probation. Let me see if I could.
Because if he's not on parole or probation, he's rehabilitated. He did his time, so he shouldn't be under the thumb. But he must be on parole if he still got a. Okay, cool. Yeah, when you under their thumb, pretty much anything that they say, motherfucker goes. You know what I mean? You under their thumb, but I think they reaching, just trying to involve themselves, inject themselves into what I'm writing. I think that's a reach.
And here's the other thing too. It's you're talking about and I see both sides of it. So if you listen to BG and his music and Cash Money, like they were talking about a lot of things, right?
As they should. Go ahead.
Now we also know that BG to a certain extent as a rapper, he's an entertainer. So the livelihood that BG went to jail with just so happens to be a livelihood that he can come home from jail and capitalize on. Like he
Right.
can support himself, support his family in a way that most people can't. So
Right.
so if he submits these lyrics and you say, well, no, you can't perform at, just hypothetically, I don't know if this happened, but let's just say, yo, you can't perform at Essence Fest. Yo, you
Right.
can't perform at Coachella. So
Mhm.
what? Cash Money has an anniversary. You can't do that. How are you supporting his rehabilitation and his re-entry into the world from jail, and you're not allowing him to do the one legal thing that he knows how to do well?
Because it's not, because they don't care about rehabilitation. It's a front. It's a lie. They want him to fail. They want to put him back. They want to make it hard for him. You know what I'm saying? They want to demoralize him. They want to do all of these things to make it hard for him as a man, so he could end up back where he was. You understand? Want to stress him out. You know what I'm saying? Start a little drinking. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get nice. And then, you know what I'm saying? But the bad decisions come. That's
Right.
what they want you to do ultimately at the end of the day, because, bro, did my lyrics get me here in jail? I don't think so. So why the fuck you give a fuck about my lyrics? You understand what I'm saying? Leave me and my lyrics alone. This is all I got. You know what I'm saying? This shit come from the mind. This shit come from the brain. It come from his experiences. But again, you know what I'm saying? Feds want to make it hard for you at every turn that you do. You know what I mean? I see a lot of my brothers come home, and they have a hard time. You know, they come home, they happy and shit like that. You know what I mean? But society as a whole, they make it hard for them. And it's like, yo, what's up? Like, they pay their debts. You know what I mean? They pay their debts. Let them come and let them. I think they should be given like some kind of vouchers saying like, nah, you're gonna hire this felon. You understand what I'm saying? Like, until they proven otherwise that they can't be trusted with the job, because they just got a whole mandate on like, you a felon, you can't work here.
Right.
What type of shit is that? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And we know the government love taxes, right? Don't you want his tax dollars? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just sent a dud out into the world. Like, they, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, kid, you know what I'm saying? That's not cool. You understand? They need to create like some kind of voucher where they could be like, yo, you just got a felony, but here, if you was, good in jail and you proved yourself, you earn your voucher when you come home, so you could work at, you know
Right.
what I'm saying, on maybe on Wall Street even, like, you know what I'm saying, just something like, you know what I mean, give motherfuckers the job to become great. You know
Or
what I mean?
or even and I could see a middle ground if they said something where it was like, okay, listen, and I'm just using this as a hypothetical. All right, BG, we gonna let you perform your old songs
Mm-hmm.
because that's old and you already like your old songs. You did a crime. The crime had to do with guns. You did your time for that crime. All right, your new music moving forward. Let's try and stay away from the gun talk. That was a crime that got you here in the first place. Let's just stay away from that. Um, I wonder if there's a way to do that. But then you gotta think about, yo, if you're in the South, like does he it, did he? I mean, he, depending on what state he was in, does he have the right to have those firearms? It looks like he had a legal firearms, so you know that throws a monkey wrench in it. But I think there's got to be a way to figure out when people are coming home from having done years of time, how do we help them to reintegrate back into society? Because we know, like, yo, society in a year, you go away for a year and you come home and things change.
True.
I remember there was a time when certain people, they went to jail in New York when they used to have, you needed a token to get on the train. They come home and it's Metro cars and they don't even know what to do. Then they get arrested for hopping the train. They're like, yo, I really didn't know. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Nah, but you supposed to know not to hop over that turnstile. I don't give a fuck what form of payment is going on. You know it ain't paying when you jumping over that turnstile.
Look,
you know what I'm saying? You ain't been going that long,
right?
Thinking that shit is free. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what I mean in terms of the technology is moving at such a fast pace. The way in which society is evolving is moving at such a fast pace that you could potentially go home, like you could go to jail and the world looks one way, and you could come home from jail and it looks completely different, and you don't know how to maneuver. And and maybe there was a way that you might have been arrested, but you might have been a rapper, you might have been a producer, you might have been a DJ. You come home and that's a skill that you have, and that will allow you to be able to support yourself legally. Absolutely. We got to figure out ways to allow people to be able to get back to that.
Fuck it, you know what the nigga got to do? Just fucking rapping pig Latin. They won't understand what he's saying. They will understand what he's saying. Fuck it. Just rapping pig Latin, BG. Don't worry, we'll understand what you talking about. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's some crazy shit, yo. They just mining. Yo, not only is they mining people, mining BG's lyrics, but they also using that shit in court, right? Like, ain't they using that shit in court?
Yeah, I think I think Young Thug's lyrics is getting used in his case right now. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like I could be wrong, but I feel like didn't they use Mac 10 handles when P was going through his trial? Didn't they pull up one of P's? They pulled up one of his songs, I thought.
I'm not sure. I don't want to sit here and lie. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
Where did you hear that from?
I feel like I don't want. God bless the dead. I don't want to say I heard it from P and I didn't hear it from P, but I feel like I heard it from somebody, like, and it was one of those things where it was like, or maybe they didn't play it, but this was the direction they was going. But this idea of using people's lyrics as a way,
as a weapon against them,
right? Weaponizing their lyrics.
No weapon formed against me shall prosper. But then they're using your own fucking sword against you, like they trying to kill you with your own lyrics.
Right. In a moment where they'll be quick to say that you're a successful entertainer until they need that entertainment to be something different than what the music is.
So, like, they want you to be pop or something. That's what you're saying. They want you to be pop, like.
Well, I think when it serves the purposes for you being a great entertainer, then it's cool. But then if it's a crime and they want either to make an example of you or they just want to be able to say, yo, you did this, they'll use those same lyrics that they were applauding you for as this great entertainer a year, 2, 5 years ago. They'll use those same lyrics against you to criminalize you.
That's pretty. That's funny. That's funny. I mean, do they do that to like movie directors and shit? Like, you know, take their movies and say, "Yo, you see this scene? That motherfucker was over there doing that." No, they don't do that. You understand what I'm saying? So I think they treat rappers horrible, man. They treat us like shit. You know what I mean? They like, so don't fuck up. You know what I mean? Don't fuck up out there, my fellow rappers, my fellow artists. Don't fuck up, because they're gonna come for you, and they gonna go hard. You know, they gonna go hard. I mean, you know, look, they coming at the mayor.
Yeah, so this is this is the first time that a sitting mayor has ever been indicted. First
And
time.
look, I'm no historian, but I know enough to know that New York City has the most corrupt politicians in politic history. You know what I'm saying? In politics. You know, like dead ass. I mean, y'all could go and Google that if y'all don't believe me. New York City was probably the most corrupt political city. I mean, New York City. Like the mayor's office was crazy. You understand? I mean, y'all never seen the gangs in New York? That's a you know that was real stories. You know what I mean? But it was nothing but those gangs. They was all fighting each other. You know what I mean? And you seen the politicians was just trying to get all the people's votes and blah blah blah. That all of that started in New York. You know what I mean? I think whatever they're accusing Eric Adams of is light work. You know what I'm saying? It's like super walk in the park light work. They trying to say, yo, he took gifts, he did this, that, and the third. He was taking flights.
Right.
I mean, first of all, I heard that somebody can get them a flight. That's cool. That's not a problem. You know what I mean? And then, you know, when you in office, sometimes, you know, you might expedite something for people because, you know what I'm saying, they, you know, you into the politics. I don't know the ramifications of it, but sometimes, you know, you speed up processes for people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, yo, these from here, like, let's get them over here real quick. Let's make.
There's an argument to be made that if something's going to benefit the city or the citizens of the city, you may want to expedite that process or figure out creative ways that you could help to facilitate things because it's going to better the citizens in that area.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. You know what I mean? So it's like maybe he was expediting on the strength of, you know, something benefiting the people. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. We don't know. Like we gotta you know, dig a little bit more into it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, Todd. This whole joint feels like a distraction to me. You know what I mean?
I think it's funny because you always used to say, I wish you would go into politics. You need to go into politics.
Word up. I'm trying to tell you, man, you got a spotless record, man. Todd for Congress, man. We're gonna put a vote out there.
No, I'm
soon
good.
And be like, yo, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna be your deputy man, yo. You heard? I'm going in. I don't care what the fuck they say about me. I'm like, yeah, I did that. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? Like, we go through the struggle in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, we do what we gotta do.
Listen, you know I'll tell you this. I love what I do because I think the most important thing about what I do is it affects change in young people's lives. And sometimes it's one person, sometimes it's 10 people, sometimes it's a whole classroom of people. But it's important to me because listen, if not for and I always shout her out. And you remember her. Listen, shout to Miss Gloria Powell at Junior High School 204. If not for Miss Powell making sure that I put the right code on the SSAT test, I would not be sitting here right now. Yo, like our generation right now, these younger kids that are coming up, yo, they need as many Miss Powells as they could get. So if I'm able to do that work in my small way, I'd much rather do that. Plus, as a college professor, I go to work in jeans and sneakers and hoodies all day. Like, you know, suits are cool. I'm not sure if I want to be suited and booted up all day, every day.
Maybe you might be the first man, you know what I'm saying? Chilling, OG comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Going to work with your hoodie on. I'm telling you, that shit might be big. That shit might be a big thing. You go, you know what I'm saying? You run for office in your hoodie, son. Like, you know what I mean? Word up, straight up.
And on the next episode, let's talk about
You getting shook, man. You can't do that.
Nah,
You can't do that.
you know what? Nah.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
How was it? We want to know, how was it in Harvard? Because nobody's never going to get a chance to go there.
So no, we gonna have people that are gonna go there, right? We gonna put
no. I'm talking about us, like us, like, you know what I mean. I'm not going back there no time soon. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not signing up for Harvard. I'm just like, for people like me, like, how was that?
There was some professors that saw the potential in me and made sure that I got from point A to point B. You know, it takes a village to raise a child. So there were you know, Eileen De Los Reyes, Don Oliver, Eleanor Duckworth, and yo, and I will never forget Miss Jenny and the registrar. Miss Jenny was this older black woman who made sure I was cool. Like, she took my ID picture like 4 times. Like, nah, you didn't look right, baby. Let me take that again. And she was her son was one of the dudes from Hangman 3 that was with Benzino and them. So Miss Jenny was super cool. There were people like that were cool. The women in the cafeteria, they was Boston Red Sox fans. You know, that was the time when I had all different color New York Yankee fitted. So they'll be like, turn that hat around. I turn it around. The other one behind me be like, turn that around.
Oh, because of Boston?
Yeah. Oh man, listen, they take that Yankees Boston
serious.
Woo-wee.
Right.
So there was that part. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. There was mad racist people there. There was mad people who didn't want me to succeed. There were people who would be like, "Yo, Todd, pull your pants up. Yo, Todd, pull your pants up." There was a time
blatantly say that to you.
Blatantly say that to me. Pull your pants up. So by that started like in the fall, and by the spring, I was literally like, "Yo, we in school, right?" They'd be like, "Yeah." I'd be like, "Yo, pull your GPA up," because mine's
right. There that go.
And we could go. You want to go to the registrar's office and check right now? And oh, Todd, why are you so angry? Such an angry young black
now
man.
You gotta be angry now, right? Now you angry all of a sudden.
The one thing that I'll never forget at Harvard was during orientation. We were all in the quad, and they had our whole incoming class do the human knot exercise, and that's when you put your hands in and hold somebody else's hand at different times, and then y'all have to untangle yourself. So at the time, and it was fresh then. So in '98, I had the dragon tattoo on my hand. And I remember reaching my hand into the knot, and I could see mad people like going to reach for my hand and seeing the tattoo and like pulling their hand away. So that was the climate at Harvard. I think people didn't understand. You know, they just saw me as this black kid, you know, and at that time I was super young. So, you know, Tim's on lace, like the you know, like we from the hood. So I looked like I was right off the block. And they didn't know what to do with that, because like it was too much for them to try and comprehend. Like, here's this black dude, he looks like every stereotype that I've been taught, but yo, his grades are better than mine. Like, when he opens his mouth in class, it's crazy.
Right.
So that, you know, I mean, that was it. Harvard was no joke. But the one thing that I remember is there was a point at Harvard when there was a lot going on, and I wanted to leave. And I don't know if he remembers it, but yo, shout out to Gotti. Gotti sat me down and was like, "Nah, Todd, you gotta finish that, because you're not going there for you. Like, you doing that for us. Like that, like you doing that for the whole hood. Like, they never gonna see us. But when they see you, they see us. So you gotta finish it." And yo, you remember I used to call you. Y'all was recording Murder Music. I'd be like, "Yo, Hab, I just got another A and such and such."
Yeah.
So, you know, it was no joke. But then it got to a point where it was like, and it really made sense. It was important for me to do it, and do it to the best level, because it was a representation of the hood, and it was when I came home, it was I didn't get a Harvard degree. The hood got one.
True indeed. True indeed. That was a major feat right there. Still is. And damn, you know what I mean? Just to be walking those halls of a place that they probably more than not try to, shut a lot of people out for more reasons than one. You know what I mean? But you broke through, went through. And that's why, we could talk about the things that we talk about,
Or
and people listen. We talk about some of these topics, and it's not gonna please everybody. You understand what I'm saying? Like last week, we was talking about whatever we was talking about, and I put a picture up there of OJ. Now I love OJ. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with OJ, but I had put that up there because he's another one. Like you, he made it through, exceptional athlete. And towards the end, they tried to taint his career. You know what I mean? And I just definitely want to point things of that nature out when they trying to just, taint somebody's career. So,
right.
Go ahead.
And also just try to have a balanced, we gotta have balanced perspectives when it comes to some of this information that we get and always be mindful of, it may look a certain way and maybe it's true. Let's give that person a day in court and see how that unravels. But also let's just try and make sense of what some of these situations are. There's larger implications for the Black community, and how are we, like, those are the conversations that we need to be having. Is what does this mean for, like, what does this mean for Black men in general? What does this mean for Black women in general? I got 2 daughters, so I'm always trying to think about how do things like this affect them and what they're going to be able to do in their future.
True. It be like that, man. You know what I'm saying? These things that happen, it affects us. You know what I mean? And that being said, I don't got no more to say. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad we touched on the mayor's situation. I just want to give a shout out to him and everybody on his side, innocent until proven guilty. If you fucked up, you fucked up, bro. You know what I mean? If you fucked up, if you fucked up, you fucked up. But I always give people the benefit of the doubt because they deserve it. So that being said, and only God can judge.
Word.
That being said, see all y'all motherfuckers next week, or maybe even earlier than that. I think I'm gonna ramp it up and start doing like 2 episodes a week, or maybe even fucking 3. How about that? I'll be having I might come in here without you because I know you be busy and shit. You know what I mean? But I have to hold down the fort. No, because I be thinking about mad shit during the week, and I be like, yo, you know what? I want to talk about this, but I be like, nah, let me just chill. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely gonna have the merch. You know what I'm saying? Definitely gonna have the merch. If y'all don't got the Mobb Deep merch already, y'all could go to my Instagram page and click the link. I got Murder Music anniversary merch in there. I'm gonna have some new merch coming soon. You know what I mean? So y'all make sure y'all go check that shit out. And yeah, man, what you got in store for the rest of the week, Todd?
I'm just chilling, trying to wrap up some meetings at work. I'm in early tomorrow morning for a meeting. And then just, trying to get prepared for some of the stuff I gotta do next week. If people are interested, they could also go to my website, drtoddcraig.com. Please pick up this award-winning book, K for the Way, DJ Rhetoric and Literacy for 21st Century Writing Studies. Otherwise, I'm trying to teach these kids, stay out of trouble and not catch a RICO charge, man.
Straight up.
That's all I'm trying to do.
Mic drop. Look, I'm trying to keep these kids from catching RICO charge. They trying to throw RICOs on all of us, man. Word up. Yo, Todd, man, you have a good weekend, man. Shout out to Siraj. You know what I
Word,
mean?
guys,
Thank you, y'all.
word.
And thank you all of y'all for tuning in this week. We love y'all. And thanks for joining us, man. Really appreciate y'all. Trying to get the numbers up on YouTube, so make sure y'all subscribe and like. I'm saying, on my YouTube as well. The numbers got to get a little bit better than that, but I'm saying, the better the numbers get, the better the content. So I'll see y'all later. Peace,
All
y'all.
right, y'all.
Have a good weekend. Peace,
Peace.
Todd.